all of their belongings, all their hats and jackets, and kind of helping them to make sure they know how to get their things on and off and recognize what their things are. Again, using the bathroom independently, being able to wash hands, and just even if they can do it, building their confidence up about it so that they, in any situation in the classroom, because you know the home, it's adjustment sometimes from home to school, or even if they were in another school situation, coming to join Bryn Mawr Park is often a new experience for them. And anything that you're bringing for snack or for lunch, it mentioned in the video that they can bring their lunch or get their lunch from school, and there's breakfast. So practicing how to open, get the straws in, open any containers, any lunch bags, making sure that they have independence with those things too. And being able to follow your directions, if they can do an activity, puzzle, a book, coloring, anything, bring it to an area, then be able to put their supplies away and be finished. And maybe they can come show you and talk about it, versus like what happens at like getting one thing out and getting excited and going to another thing and another thing. We're trying to see if they can do one task and put it away, and kind of building that independence too, and taking turns. Of course, when they're going to have their whole classroom of friends, they can't always get the book that they want first. Sometimes they have to wait. We have to talk out. I can have a term when you're finished. I can have the next term. We can share it when it's time to share. But negotiating some of that turn taking, and being what happens when you can't have something that you want right away. And everybody, you might feel frustrated or sad, but how can you talk through it, or what else might you be able to do in that situation? So any play dates over the summer that they might enjoy, times with other children that they can be interacting with other children, because then those things will come out naturally, those kinds of situations, and how to navigate when you can't have something right away, because we are always there to help when we tell them that. And the more that they're able to help navigate their own situations, then they'll be able to be on their way with it, not have to wait for the teacher attention, which they have to learn to share with all their friends. So that is a lot just about just general readiness coming to school. Again, we are very, very excited that they will be here, and look forward to any other questions that you might have. Oh,
I'm Sandra Chetwood. I'm the family liaison. I can also translate, so I'm going to translate in case any of our participants online or in the room need Spanish. So I'm going to do a very brief version, but if anyone has any questions, whether in the chat or in person, you know. So mi nombre es Sandra Chetwood, soy el enlace familiar y voy a traducir brevemente. Lo que han hablado hasta ahora es sobre cuáles son las habilidades que deben desarrollar antes de empezar a la escuela y practicar sobre el verano para estar listos para kindergarten. Es seguir instrucciones de 2 pasos, turnarse, compartir, tener buenos modelos, poder usar el baño independientemente, comer y sentarse independientemente, lavarse las manos, amarrarse los zapatos, subirse el zipper, cómo manejar sus emociones, cómo reconocer lo que es suyo, lo que es de otra persona, cómo tomar responsabilidad por cosas que alguien se le quita o que hay que guardar, o cuando se ha terminado su turno. Esas son diferentes cosas que pueden ir desarrollando y practicando antes que comiencen en kindergarten.
So Ms. Vivian shared with you a lot of the social behaviors you can kind of help with and support with at home. And I'm going to talk with you a little bit about our kindergarten academic readiness. A lot of times families will ask, us, what does my child need to know in order to come to kindergarten, or what do they have to be proficient at? And the answer is really, we just start with them wherever they are at. So we don't have a set list of defined skills per se, but we've collectively come up with some ideas for things that you can practice at home, that just different activities and skills that we think will really help prepare them most, when they come to school. So,
Los padres muchas veces preguntan cuáles son las habilidades académicas que los estudiantes deben tener desarrollados antes de comenzar. Y no son cosas precisas, pero tenemos unas listas de cosas que deben de estar practicando y actividades y habilidades que pueden ir practicando. So, ahora los van a compartir.
I figure a lot of these things that are listed, you all are probably already doing. So when I talk about them today, I'm just going to kind of expand upon it a little bit to share with you why it's so important and how it builds on what they're going to be learning in kindergarten. So I'll start with the alphabet, specifically the letters in your child's name. I'm sure many of you are already practicing with your child, learning the letters and writing their name. And if they can come to kindergarten recognizing their written name and identifying each of the letters in their name, like that's awesome. They're off to a great start. When you're working with them and writing their name, we would just ask that you just start from the beginning and showing them, they write their name with a capital letter at the beginning and then lowercase letters. If they come to school and they're not yet doing it, like I said, that's okay. We will start with wherever they're at and we can help them with that. Okay. But singing the alphabet, talking about letters, and practicing with identifying letters in random order is super helpful. This is important because letter recognition and naming fluency, which means being able to really name those letters quickly, those are the beginning steps in developing reading. So any work that you can do with alphabet and just getting kids excited about letters helps them read.
Algunas de las habilidades que pueden practicar antes de empezar la escuela es cómo decir, reconocer y escribir las letras de su nombre, trazar y identificar letras, leer juntos y hablar sobre los libros, cantar canciones, canciones de cuna, rimas, todas son cosas que son los principios para aprender a leer.
Thank you. So speaking of reading, one of our big goals as kindergarten teachers is to help develop a love for reading and books in our students. So obviously this is something that begins with you all at home as you read together with your child. So when you are reading with them, we really just encourage you to talk to them about the stories, ask them questions, ask them to share their favorite parts of the stories. As you do this, it really helps them also make connections with the story. Maybe it reminds them of something that's happened in their own life, but it helps them to connect with the story and really start to understand how books work. So reading and talking about the books is really helpful. And this is a real biggie. If you haven't already, and like I said, I'm sure you already are, but if you haven't already started a consistent story time with your child, we'd really like to encourage you to consider reading a book to your child every day. It's very much okay if your child has a favorite book and they want to hear it over and over again. They never get tired. Like the first time you read it, the 50th time they read it, if it's their favorite, they love it. They can usually join in and kind of read the story with you. So that's totally okay. But while you're doing this, when you're reading with them, you're developing your child's vocabulary, you're stimulating their curiosity about topics and characters, and you're also really sparking that excitement about reading.
Hablando de la lectura, es importante que leen con los niños, si pueden, todos los días, aunque sea un libro favorito, que lo leen una vez o 500 veces, porque así eso va creando el entusiasmo para la lectura y para aprender a leer, y de cualquier forma que sea, lo más frecuente que lo puedan hacer.
Thank you. Another one of our big goals as kindergarten teachers is for our students to be communicators. So having conversations with your child and asking them questions about what they're doing or what they're thinking are super important parts of developing their oral and also their listening skills. The more you talk, the more conversations you have, the more your child will be able to express ideas, to talk about what their needs are, and talk about their life experiences. And this all ties into what we do at school. We ask the children to write stories about things that happen in their own life. So it's awesome if they can verbalize it first. I don't know if your children are into the movie Encanto, but I know that my students sing that song all the time. We don't talk about Bruno, but us kindergarten teachers, we kind of like to say, talk about everything, even Bruno, talk about movies, talk about books, talk about numbers, colors, shapes, sizes. It's all super valuable. In addition, young children also gravitate a lot to pretend play. I'm sure they do this a lot in your homes. That's so awesome when they're playing, you know, ask them questions, sing songs with them. It's super awesome if they come to school and they've experienced some rhymes or nursery rhymes. And these are all great tools to build upon their language development.
Es importante que hablen con los niños, que tengan conversaciones, hablen de todo, sobre sus vidas, cuentos que inventen, que haga preguntas y den respuestas. Ellos después en kindergarten van a escribir cuentos y si lo pueden verbalizar, les va a ser más fácil después. Hablen sobre todo los colores, las formas, tamaños. La señora Birkenstock ha mencionado que los niños en estos días están bien entusiasmados con la película Encanto y hablan que no se habla de Bruno, pero es mejor que hablen de todo. Lo más que hablan, lo más se pueden expresar después que cuando van a escribir. Y sean lo más creativo posible, que hablen lo más posible.
And lastly, we recommend that you offer time for your child to really get creative or to make things. So let them practice using materials or things like pencils and crayons and scissors and glue, or just explore various arts and craft materials. And if you provide those opportunities for them, it's so much fun for them to be able to create or make something from beginning to end. And then also get to share with you what they made. So talk to them about the process, the product. But while they're creating, making things, it's really developing their fine motor skills. It's fostering their creativity as they're thinking about what they want to put together and make. And like I said, most importantly, it's just really fun. And it can be a little messy, but in the long run, those fine motor skills are being developed and it's going to help them with writing in school, manipulating math materials and objects. So it's super helpful.
Sean creativos, que usen tijeras, crayones, filamentos, todos estos para crear cosas juntos. Esas son actividades que les ayudan a desarrollar sus motor fino, ¿no? Y que después les van a ayudar cuando van a escribir o cuando están manejando los diferentes recursos de matemática que se usan para contar. Todas esas oportunidades son divertidas y también los ayuda a desarrollar.
Also, I just wanted to mention that each of the topics, the core topics that we shared today, they can really take place anywhere. So I think the idea is just really just start thinking about building on what you're already doing, but thinking, wow, everything I do is really helping prepare them for kindergarten. So for example, when we think about counting, if you're taking a walk, start counting, you know, the steps with your child. Just can be doing things, your everyday things. They can count the dinner plates or the silverware on the table. They can count their toys as they're cleaning up. Alphabet knowledge can really be developed by going on letter hunts or scavenger hunts in your home. You could identify a letter and have their child look for it on cereal boxes or on books, or they could make the letters with Legos, whatever they like to play with, or Play-Doh. All of those things just really help build the academic knowledge. And we can expand obviously when they come to school. So to conclude the academic readiness part, I just wanted to leave you with that FISTA 5. These are the 5 things that you can work on at home or just expand upon: letters, numbers, reading, talking, and creating. And they'll be all set. Yes, letters, numbers.
Hablando de todos los temas que hemos hablado en este momento, todas son cosas que se pueden hacer en cualquier momento y en cualquier sitio. Sea mirar, buscar las letras en las cajas de cereal o en la cocina, o sea formarlos de Legos o de otros materiales que tienen en la casa. Son experiencias que pueden tener a través del diario. Pero lo más importante para recordar son la regla de 5, que se enfoquen en las letras, los números, lectura, hablando y creando.
Thank you.
So you are here in our kindergarten pod, or you can see in the photograph the cubbies here. So this is where students will bring their backpack and jacket and belongings. And we ask that students bring a complete change of clothes, underwear, socks, and then this is a time where, like, a year where we need to sometimes switch out the clothes for a seasonal change, but that they have a complete change of clothes and plastic bag that just stays here, because you just never know with all the activities that we do throughout the day when they might need a change of clothes, and we want them to be comfortable in school. They're also going to need a backpack that is big enough for the library books that they're gonna bring home. And we have a folder that comes home to families every Thursday. So those of you that have siblings and cousins that come to Bryn Mawr Park, you'll be familiar with the Thursday folder, and that will have information from the school and the PTA and the team. And so we'll need a backpack that can fit all of those items in. And we ask that all of their items have their name on them when they come. When the school supply list is on the website. It's also available in the office, and we have through the PTA, yes, the school supply kit available for purchase. But the list is also on the Bryn Mawr Park website. And some of the supplies, like the tissue boxes, will be something that the class shares, or we might even share with the specialists, because they'll need tissues wherever they go in the school. And some of the supplies will be your child's own supplies. So we're gonna ask that your child's name goes on all of their school supplies when they come. This year, there's breakfast available and lunch available every day for all students at no cost. I'm not sure next year for lunch, you always have the option to have them have breakfast at school or not. Some students choose to have breakfast, and I think Wednesdays are bagels, there's pancakes, there's like banana bread, and there's juice that goes with it, or milk. And the menu is available online as well for that. And some students choose not to have breakfast, which is fine. And then there's usually a morning activity, something that they can play with or do or read from their book box. And for lunch, they can have lunch, the school lunch in the cafeteria, which again, the menu is available online. But there's always like vegetable and fruit options, juice, milk, entree, and they can go through the lunch line with their tray, or you can bring lunch from home. And this is the space where their lunch and belongings will be. And again, we ask that you have your child's name on their lunch and their water bottle that they bring. And snack will depend on the individual teacher schedules and on what time our lunch might be. We might not need a snack if we're having breakfast at 9 and then our lunch is right at noon and we're rocking and rolling through our day. That's kind of a flexible scheduling item. But students, if they do have a snack or want to bring something, we ask that it's something small that they can open themselves, that's nutritious. We fruit, crackers, something that can fit in a small bag, and they can bring that. And then we want to know if something is their lunch versus their snack. Sometimes they bring something they think is their lunch. We open it, it's like some grapes, and like, okay, let's go get a lunch. I think that this is your snack. So it's something that you can talk about with them. Some students opt, depending on the menu items, they're going to like get Friday's always pizza day. So they want to like go get pizza in the cafeteria on Friday and then bring their lunch other days. So that's a conversation that you can have with them and plan with them, and then they can learn the days of the week too, and reinforce that and have your own calendar. So we're flexible about that as well.
El almuerzo este año es gratuito para todos en la escuela. El año que viene no se sabe todavía, pero de todas maneras los niños pueden obtener el almuerzo en la cafetería aquí o pueden traer almuerzo de la casa. Siempre adicionalmente, en cada día en el almuerzo hay un vegetal, una fruta y alguna comida principal. La merienda depende de a qué hora le toca el almuerzo. A veces tienen una merienda por la tarde o por la mañana. Le pueden ir enseñando a los niños cuál es para la merienda y cuál es para el almuerzo, porque a veces ellos se confunden, pero la idea es que traigan algo que pueden comer en otro momento del día. Ropa adicional, es necesario que cada niño traiga un cambio de ropa y lo mantenga aquí. Estamos en este momento en la área de kindergarten, a donde ellos guardan sus mochilas y sus loncheras y su ropa adicional. Solo traen y lo dejan por el resto del año. O se cambia más o menos cuando cambia la temperatura. Y siempre como ellas hacen tantas actividades, hay la necesidad que tener un cambio de ropa. Y los útiles escolares, hay una lista en este momento en el sitio de web de la escuela, y también hay útiles escolares que venden, que pueden recibir la lista aquí, o si están en línea le podemos mandar el enlace.
Awesome. One thing I just wanted to add about the snacks is that generally we have kids every year who are allergic to peanut butter. So if you could just do us a favor, if you are going to send your child a snack, please don't send peanut butter. Fruit, crackers, cheese, all that stuff is great, but just please avoid peanut butter.
La señora Ambrosio ha añadido que todos los años siempre hay algún estudiante que es alérgico a las nueces. So, en general, cuando manden almuerzo o merienda, por favor no manden cosas con nueces o maní. Es más seguro para todos.
Let's do a pause after all that information to see if there were any questions at this time. There will still be opportunities for questions. That's a lot.
The general schedule for the day, is the school day still 9:15 till 4 o'clock?
Yes.
So the answer is yes. They have not yet published next year's bell schedule, but we don't anticipate that there will be any change. That being said, we do open our school doors at 9 a.m. because one thing Bryn Mawr Park offers is free breakfast for all. That was even a pre-COVID opportunity for our children. So we do encourage our families to kind of plan for that 9 a.m. is when doors open so that that children can be in their seats by 9:15.
Takes a while to unpack all their things and settle into the room.
La pregunta fue cuál es el horario de la escuela. En este momento el horario es de 9:15 hasta las 4. Todavía no han publicado firmemente el horario para el año que viene, pero hasta ahora ha sido de 9:15 hasta las 4. La escuela abre a las 9 porque se sirve desayuno todas las mañanas en el aula. So, el estudiante que escoge tomar desayuno en la mañana tiene de 9 a 9:15 para comérselo y estar listo cuando abren las puertas y comienza el día.
What's the average student to keep the nation?
Do you want to take that one? So we have ourselves are instructional assistants, and we have about 22 students.
Okay.
But the maximum number we can have is 23, so it would never go above 23.
La pregunta fue cuál es el ratio de estudiantes a maestro, y hay una maestra y una asistente instruccional en cada clase, y el máximo número de estudiantes es 23, en general hay como 22.
Any questions? Pausing for our online questions in the chat. Okay. Oh, yeah.
How does the drop off and pickup works?
segue to the,
Excellent
segue.
question. Happy to answer
All
that
right.
one for you.
Yes.
You want me to answer it or?
Yeah,
you want me to do it?
Part of your safety.
Yes, yes.
Invite Ms. Williams.
Yes, so with a kindergarten student, there is a requirement that parents must be, or guardian adult, must be with the child for drop off as well as pickup. So first we'll talk about what it looks like in the school for walking. And we're gonna talk about what it looks like for kiss and ride. So if you bring your child via car, and then what it looks like for bus riders. So walking is like what you did today. And we define walking as that you are walking onto campus, onto our school campus with a child. And the reason I have to clarify that is because while it's not encouraged, sometimes we do have families who will park in the neighborhood and walk their children across the street. So our definition of that is still a walker, right? That they're walking to the school. They do need to arrive with, again, a parent or guardian. Our gate opens at 9 a.m. And so the parent or guardian would either bring their child to one of these two doors, depending on who the classroom teacher is, or use this entryway that you used today in order to drop their children off so the children can use the kindergarten classrooms that are right here. So for the walkers, that's what that looks like. At the end of the day, for pickup for walkers, we do open that gate a little bit before 4 o'clock so that our families can get in and be ready for pickup. At 4 o'clock, the bell rings, and that's when these external doors will open. And I think you have this kindergarten classroom also exit through these doors as well. So we make sure that a teacher is confirming and verifying that a child is being picked up by a parent or a guardian or someone who's been approved for that child to be picked up. That being said, that's one thing I just want to reiterate, and I know our registrar is also going to share that information. It's very important, especially in the beginning, please bring a photo ID. If the staff do not recognize you, they may ask for a photo ID, government issued, driver's license, passport, whatever, so that we can make sure the child is going to the person that the child has permission to go with. Do you need me to pause to translate? Okay, I told you, just.
Hablando sobre la llegada y la despedida de los niños de kindergarten necesitan llegar con un padre o guardián y igualmente pueden entrar por la puerta número 2 directamente a sus aulas o por la puerta principal, pero es necesario que un adulto los traiga a la puerta. Y cuando se despiden por las tardes, es necesario que traigan identificación con ellos para estar seguro que los niños se vayan con quien tienen que ir, porque no siempre lo van a reconocer. Es necesario que traigan identificación. Van a explicar un poquito más sobre otras cosas que se usan para recoger y dejar a los niños, pero cuando vienen, inicialmente estábamos hablando de los niños que vienen a pie, que vienen o que parquean en el barrio y caminan, o que caminan de sus casas. Y esos son los estudiantes que dicen walkers, o que vienen de pie y que entran por la puerta principal o la puerta número 2. También hay estudiantes que van a venir en carro o en bus, que eso se va a explicar un poquito más.
Just to add on what they're sharing, in the past, we've had kindergarten parents who want to pick their child up or drop them off on the first day, but they usually take the bus. So also please make sure if you're going to take them to school the first day of school, that's fine, but please let their teacher know that the next day they will be on the bus or kiss and ride or however they're going home if it's different than what you told us.
Adicionalmente, siempre hay padres que el primer día de kindergarten quieren traer a sus niños a la escuela y recogerlos. Eso está bien, pero estén seguros que también le informen a la maestra cómo va a venir y irse el estudiante en los días siguientes.
And I forgot the camera was over here, so sorry. Okay, so now I'm actually in the presentation. Okay, so that was our walkers. So again, anybody who's walking onto campus, but they do need to walk with an adult, and they do need to be picked up by an adult as well. For our Kiss and Ride students, Kiss and Ride is for families who do drive their car and use the Kiss and Ride loop, which is on the side of the school. It's basically where our parking lot is. And we have a drop-off process that all students use. We do want to make sure that teachers know, because same thing, we do have staff members that are there. We will label backpacks and ask for your help during our back to school session so that your child's bag is labeled and with the teacher name, so that staff, especially those first days as we get to know faces and names, we will have staff who will walk children to the right classroom and make sure that they are exactly where they need to be. So again, we have most of our families who do the park in the neighborhood and walk on the first day or the first couple of days of school. That is absolutely fine. And then when and should you feel comfortable with the kiss and ride option, that's an option as well. Know that staff member who may or may not work directly with your child would pick up your child, but your child would be labeled on their backpack just to help support us in making sure the child is getting to the right place.
Los estudiantes les van a marcar las mochilas para que el personal de la escuela puede asegurar que ellos vayan como tienen que ir, sean los que caminen o se vayan de otras maneras. So es importante que la información esté ahí. Igual como me has dicho, si los primeros días vienen de otra forma, está bien, pero es importante que sepan que va a ser la manera principal que van a ir y venir en el futuro.
Okay, perfect. And then the last transportation question is the buses. So what do students do that arrive via the bus and then go home via bus? So our staff work really closely together to ensure that there is supervision between the classrooms and the school bus when students are arriving and coming to school or at the end of the day. So they're always supervised. We have 5th grade students as well. Is that me? No? Okay. Sorry. We have 5th grade students as well, our safety patrol, who are in leadership roles that often will come and help support the kindergarten students to ensure that they get to the right location. With transportation, if your child is assigned the bus, you would get that bus information in your SIS parent view information, and you would receive emails that week right before school starts, usually Tuesday, like the Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So if it's like 2 weeks till school starts, I know as a parent, you're like, I want to know, I want to know, I want to know. You probably won't know, and we won't know yet either. Our bus drivers kind of practice their routes, but you will get the information exactly what the bus stop is and exactly what time your child would either be picked up or dropped off. And we do encourage that greeting person to make sure that they're there 5 minutes early. And the first couple of days, sometimes the bus is not exact with their timing. So, the first couple of days we do ask for some grace while they're making sure every child is accounted for and is safe.
Si su hijo va a usar la transportación del autobús, tenemos comunicación entre el aula y el personal que está ayudando a los niños a montarse en los buses, y también tenemos estudiantes patrullas que ayudan a los estudiantes de kindergarten llegar a la bus. Es necesario que haya un adulto o un padre del otro lado a recibir el niño, y adicionalmente es importante que, especialmente en los primeros días, que estén un poquito temprano, porque el horario que llega el bus puede fluctuar un poquito. La información sobre qué parada es y a qué hora va a llegar, y decir, lo mandan más o menos el miércoles o jueves antes que comience la escuela. So, nosotros no tenemos esa información hasta unos días antes que empiece la escuela, pero se lo van a mandar directamente a los padres. I think that was it.
I think so. And then what I was going to say is for our kindergarten students, again, a parent needs to stay with them until the bus picks the child up. And then at the end of the day, a bus driver will not let a kindergarten student off unless there is an adult there to pick them up and can identify them by first and last name.
Para un estudiante de kindergarten, el guiante del bus no los va a dejar bajar si no hay un adulto para recibirlos, y si lo puede identificar al hijo por nombre, primero y apellido. Eso es necesario que alguien esté esperando al niño para recibirlo del bus.
One of the tricks or tips that I've heard some feedback from previous kindergarten families is that first day, especially if you want to pick up your child that first day, it's absolutely okay. Please communicate with the classroom teacher so that the teacher knows, because, and then make sure you communicate that, let's say day 2 or day 3 of school, you decide now you want to let your child take that bus or take a different way home, is to practice the bus stops so they know if they're on the bus, what are they looking for so they know which stop they're getting off on. So to go and walk to your child or walk your child to that bus stop and talk about what color the house is or what are the street signs or anything that makes that unique can be really helpful for our students who might be taking the bus home for the very first time.
Un consejo de los padres en el pasado es que muchas veces en el primer día van a traer el niño a la escuela, pero lo que pueden hacer para acostumbrarles para cuando vayan a montar el bus es quizás llevarlo a la parada, que vayan reconociendo las cosas cerca de la parada, el color de casa, diferentes cosas que los ayudan a identificar, especialmente si es primera vez que van a montar el bus.
And I know I've taken up a lot of time, so I'll kind of skirt through the other ones, but that seems to be the number one question for parents is how do we make sure that our child gets to school safely and then home at the end of the day. So with visitors, with COVID, we have decreased or tightened up really our security around visitors. We have not had a lot of visitors on site, so we're going to kind of be revisiting some of these pieces. Whenever school is in session, any adult visiting the building must sign in. And for this school year, they also must have an appointment. So more information will come out about that specifically and what that looks like related to kind of health guidance. However, you know, if you're ever coming to school, you do need to make sure that you are signing in, and all entry again during a regular school day is going to be through the main doors, door 1.
Debido a COVID, las restricciones han sido un poquito más este año escolar y siguen así, pero eso se va posiblemente a ajustar para el año que viene. De todas maneras, cualquier visitante a la escuela durante las horas de escuela necesita tocar el timbre y entrar por la oficina principal y apuntar su nombre y tener identificación. Y este año en particular también es necesario que tengan una cita. Eso posiblemente sea diferente el año que viene.
And everyone asks, how do we get in? If you've not been to Bryn Mawr Park before, there is a silver box that does not look like it, but it's a doorbell. And so if you are looking at the doors on the right-hand wall, there is a button that you push and the front office can then talk to you, find out why you're coming in to visit, and then they can open the doors for you to let you in. All of our doors are secured during school day when school is in session.
Si quieren saber cómo es que se entra, todas las puertas de las escuelas están seguras durante el día, pero sí hay una cajita con un timbre en la puerta de adelante que tiene micrófonos, eso permite que los visitantes hablen con la oficina principal y le abren la puerta para que entren.
Okay. Emergency care forms and contacts. This is part of the registration packet that you do. And one of the reminders we always have for families is please remember to update it. If cell phone numbers change, if you want to add a grandma or a grandpa or a neighbor to be able to have permission to pick up your child, we need that change in writing from you in order to allow your child to go with that person or to be able to reach you if your child might be sick that day. So it's really important to keep that emergency care form updated if there are any changes. You can do that either on SIS Parent View, so you don't have to come into the school at all. You just log in and make the changes, or you can come into the school and talk to Ms. Khalif and she can help you make those changes as well.
Como parte de los formularios de registración, llenan un formulario sobre el cuidado de emergencia y contactos de emergencia. Lo más importante, lo llenan cuando se registran, pero adicionalmente es importante si hay cualquier cambio que notifiquen a la oficina y la señora Khalif lo puede poner corriente actualizado en la computadora, porque eso es lo que nosotros usamos para contactar a las familias en el evento de una emergencia o si hay que contactarlos en general.
And one of the reasons that updated phone number is very important is because of these two lovely ladies. We have Mandy Best, who is our school health aide. So she is on site with us all throughout the school year to help support children if they're not feeling well, if they get an injury, if they just need that Band-Aid and some attention. She is the go-to person. And then we have Ms. Sun Choi, who is our public health nurse. She is shared with 5 schools now. 4 schools. Okay, good. We're working up the ranks. So we do have to share her, but she is amazing. And she helps supports us with medication, ensuring that students, if they have like an allergy, that we have the right medication on site, should it require an EpiPen. And so they're going to walk you through those forms and requirements as well.
Esta es nuestra enfermera del Departamento de Salud Escolar y la asistente de las clínicas. Y ellos le van a hablar más sobre los información de salud, si procedimientos, si hay medicamento o cualquier cosa.
In our health room, we have water, Band-Aid, ice, and soap. There are required health entrance forms. Register will help you with the forms that's required and answer questions. Any health related questions, please reach out to me. On the pink paper, there is our contact information. So it's very important for you to fill out the health information form. It's a part of the kindergarten package. You may include any allergies, any health condition, chronic health condition, please write in details. My role is to review the health information form. If there's a certain health condition, I'll reach out to you individually to create the healthcare plans. And we also enter your health condition information in the medical flag list. It's a confidential list. It alerts your child teacher to any medical condition that your child has. So it's very important to fill out the health information form. And if you ever get a doctor's note or any changes on medical condition, please reach out to us as well. We also do like a vision hearing for the kindergarten in the fall. Like last year we did in October. So we do, even though for the physical, you guys do the vision here, we still screen again. So if you have, if your child is uninsured or has a Medicaid, this year, Health Department is partnership with the Innova Menaces. So any kids between age 4 to 18, they're gonna have a free physical. So you have to make an appointment, just bring your vaccine information, then you can come to this place to do physical if needed. Just one parking.
Los formularios de entrada de salud son requeridos y eso es algo que ella va a revisar. Igualmente los formularios de información de salud, y si ahí cuando ella revisa esos formularios, sea cualquier condición médica, una alergia, cualquier cosa que es necesario, ella les ayuda confidencialmente a crear un plan de salud que está en el lo ponen en el sistema para que las maestras sepan de cualquier problema de salud que tienen que estar pendiente de un estudiante. Adicionalmente, estaba mencionando que si les hace falta examen físico gratuitos para los niños, lo están ofreciendo. Aquí hay un formulario que después podemos poner en la información, pero donde tienen que hacer una cita, pero pueden hacer los físicos y traen sus vacunas y les completan cualquiera de los requisitos que sean necesarios para comenzar la escuela.
Also, if your child is sick, please keep them home. If your child has a fever, diarrhea, vomiting, they should be symptom-free for 24 hours without medication for them to return back to school.
Si su hijo está enfermo, por favor, manténganlo en casa. Si tienen diarrea, fiebre, necesitan estar 24 horas sin síntomas antes de regresar a la escuela.
Hello, I'm going to talk about medications in Fairfax County Public Schools. If your child needs to take a medication at school, it has to be dropped off by the parent. So even if your child takes the bus, it should not be in their backpack and they should not bring it in alone. It should be brought into the house by an adult. throughout the day. Just because we don't want kids opening up their medication on the bus or potentially sharing it with another student. And medication should be taken at home whenever possible, but if they do have to take their schoolwork, gladly able to give your kids medication at school. We don't keep any type of medication in school, because I know sometimes we call if somebody has a fever or allergy. We don't keep lotion in school or lip gloss or any of those things, but they can have lotion and like lip gloss in their backpack. But other medications like allergies or Tylenol, we don't keep. The parent would have to bring that in. Sorry. Oh, all medications must be brought to school in their original container. So if you have like a Tylenol that you use, it could be open. If it's half empty, that's fine. We just need the original box that it came in to be able to give it to the student. And all medications, you have to have an authorization signed by the parent and able to be able to give your child a medication, even if it's not, even if it's an over-the-counter medication, you have to have an authorization signed. And we have medication authorizations, EpiPen authorizations, and inhaler authorizations in the back. If you feel like over the summer, you need one of those for your doctor to sign for us to give it to your student. Sorry, give me 1 second, just make sure.
Cualquier medicamento que tome un estudiante es necesario que lo traiga su padre a la escuela y lo transporte a la escuela, porque no queremos que los estudiantes saquen de la mochila o lo comparten con otro niño o se pierde. Eso es necesario que un padre lo traiga y se lo dé a la clínica. Y también es necesario que cuando traigan un medicamento lo traigan el pomo recetado original. Puede estar abierto si le han dado alguna, pero tiene que ser el pomo original de la medicina. En la clínica no tienen medicina, solo eso es algo que si es algo que el niño tiene que tomar, lo tiene que traer de la casa.
And the last thing was already covered, but I would just ask again if you could pack extra clothes for your kids in their backpack, maybe even like 2 pair of old clothes that you don't really care about, just because not only do they have bathroom accidents, but they might fall in a puddle or get dirty or fall paint or food on them. So that's all. And again, we have the forms at the back if you need them.
Y para repetir, traigan ropa adicional, ropa vieja, lo que sea, porque hay a veces que se tienen un accidente, pero a veces se mojan o se ensucian y es necesario tener un cambio de ropa. Y también los formularios, si tienen cualquier medicamento, inhalador, cualquiera, los tienen atrás o lo pueden pedir si están en línea, si quieren a través del verano llenar esos y traerlos a la escuela.
These are some dates as you're planning and we're getting closer, and then we do have a representative from our wonderful PTA, and there's going to be some info about play dates and things from the PTA. Our open house date, first day of school, anything else to add?
I mean, you hit it, and I know we're watching time too. But there will be, so as you register your child, you will start to get the, after July 1st, you'll start to get the email messages and community messages that we send to families. So I encourage you to sign up before then for News You Choose to get information, because we do host summer play dates. Those are usually Saturdays, so they don't interrupt with work schedules during the work week. And it's time where just our rising kindergartners will be invited to play on the playground together. A chance for you as families to get to meet and exchange phone numbers or emails, or just get to know other parents, which, you know, sometimes is hard to do in the school setting. So that will be coming up. They are usually in August, but those dates will be coming. So we encourage you to make sure those emails are updated, and that if you want to, even before then, go ahead and sign up for News You Choose so you can start getting some of that information now.
Cuando se registren es importante que tengamos su correo electrónico y su información, porque vamos a ir mandando información sobre actividades que van a haber, oportunidades para los niños reunirse. Un representante de la Asociación de Padres y Maestros les va a hablar un poquito sobre eso, pero también hay un sistema que se llama Noticias que uno elige, que es un mensaje que se manda de la escuela con diferentes actividades y fechas importantes. Así cuando se inscriben, si ponen un correo electrónico, tienen la oportunidad de también inscribirse en ese sistema para recibir noticias de la escuela.
Hey, our PTA.
All right, so my name is Stephanie Lowe. I am currently the vice president for the PTA. This is going to be my last year here, as well as most of the board, executive board. So we are looking for people such as incoming families like you to come and take office. Either, I think we have one person on the executive board that will be returning next year. She's currently agreed to be president, but she would love to let somebody else be it. And this is a great time for you coming in to have input. With the PTA, what we do is we basically support the students, the school, the teachers, and activities, raising funds. So we put on a lot of the stuff that's on the paper, and for the people who are not here, I'll just go ahead and read this, not the whole thing, but just read a little bit on the paper of activities that the PTA does. We provide opportunities to connect parents, teachers, and staff with each other and information about school community. We do fun activities and community building, after school enrichment, school supply kits, and those school supply kits, you guys did get the paper over there. The good thing with the school supply kit is you can order it. It helps, it's a fundraiser for the school, so the money goes towards the activities, but everything is delivered to the school, so you don't have to go out buying each individual whatever it is. We also support with field trips, assemblies, grants for clubs. So if there's a student who is cannot afford one of the after-school enrichment programs, we can provide scholarships for those. This year, we didn't have after-school enrichment because of the COVID situation, but the year that I came, which was 2 years ago, I was the VP over the after-school enrichment, and that gives whoever's in that position the opportunity to listen to the students, or not the students, the parents, to see what type of extracurricular activities that you want. One thing that when I came was, I was used to having a foreign language in the school, and we didn't have foreign language as a regular curriculum class. So we were able to bring in a program after school where they could do Spanish and then dance classes and karate and different activities. So this is a great opportunity for you to be involved, to get to know the staff, to get to know and put on activities that you want to see to help the school thrive. One thing that we're going to be doing this year is next Friday, the 6th.
Next Friday, yeah.
We're gonna have a school carnival just for the students that the PTA is sponsoring, and it's gonna be after school. So they'll have like carnival games. We'll have a basketball game in the gym where the teachers play the 3rd graders through 5th graders, and then a DJ. So it's just an activity to have fun. So I really hope that you guys get involved. Like I said, we do fundraisers, and we're looking for people who want to be in the office. So if you have any interest right now with Heather. Heather is on the committee for, what is it called?
It's
Nomination committee.
nomination for PTA. And there's also, as you mentioned, the school supply kit. There's also opportunity if you could be the person that could kind of oversee that, or the person that could oversee any of the events as well.
Yeah. So if you're interested, please, because I'm going to be leaving right after this, talk to Heather. You know, and like I said, if you guys have any questions, if you want to ask right now, or let her translate.
Esa es la vicepresidenta de la Asociación de Padres y Maestros. Y en este momento la Asociación de Padres y Maestros hace muchísimas cosas para apoyar a las maestras, los estudiantes en la escuela. Hay muchas oportunidades para participar. En este momento están buscando personas para diferentes posiciones. Vicepresidente, muchos de los que están en las posiciones ahora se terminan aquí en la escuela, hay oportunidades para ayudar con muchas cosas, recaudan fondos, hacen eventos, va a haber un carnaval para los estudiantes el viernes, ayudan con excursiones, con muchísimas diferentes variedades de actividades y es una oportunidad para los padres participar y apoyar a los estudiantes y oportunidades para los estudiantes.
So do you guys have any questions regarding the PTA? We actually have a PTA meeting tomorrow that's gonna be virtual, so if you're interested in that, I don't know how to get in contact with you guys. I don't have, I'll email that number. Yeah, email there, thank you. If you can email that, then I can send you guys the link. And the meeting is tomorrow at 6 p.m. and we'll be discussing the upcoming activities as well as doing elections for some of the offices that we have nominees for. All right, if there are no further questions, or if there are no questions, we'll translate, and I'll be gone.
And probably already met our lovely people in the office. Yeah. Here.
Hello. I'm sorry, I know it has been a very long meeting, orientation. So my name is Lady Khalif. I'm the registrar here at the school. I'm going to be the first person that you're going to contact regarding registration kindergarten. So the eligibility, the child has to be age 5 by September 22nd, and I will need the proof of residency within the Bremar Park boundaries. The registration form you can even gather here. I have in Spanish and English, and also you can do through the website fcps.edu. Additional to the enrollment packet, I will need the original birth certificate, the proof of residency, enrolling parent ID, a physical within a year of August 22, 2022, and current immunization record. You can set up a registration. When you have all the documentation complete, just call the front office at 703-914-7200. Regarding proof of residency, is your own or rent? Is your own, you can bring the deed or of the home owned by the parent guardian or the original lease agreement in parent guardian's name with signature. If you share a residency, we'll provide you 2 letters that have to be notarized. One from the leaseholder or homeowner, and also for the residency affidavit. Plus 3 official documents that are gonna be the current pay stubs or employer verification on company letterhead, Virginia driver license, car registration, car insurance policy, internet, gas, water, electricity, cable, or telephone bill, bank statements, medical bills, or US government issued document. I'm probably gonna get back to a slides. I'm gonna translate in Spanish. Ok, para las personas en español, yo soy la persona que está encargada de la registración. La elegibilidad para ingresar al colegio, el estudiante tiene que tener 5 años para septiembre de 2022 y tiene que tener una prueba de residencia dentro de la localidad de Bremar Park. Las formas de registración se encuentran en la página web o las tenemos aquí ahorita en esta oficina. Los documentos adicionales son la prueba de dirección, el carnet de identificación, una nota del doctor que tiene que ser antes del 22 de agosto.
del 2022. Para hacer una cita, tiene que llamar al 703-914-7200. Para la prueba de dirección, usted tiene que tener un contrato de arrendamiento. Si usted renta o si usted es el propietario, tiene que traer un recibo de pago. Si comparte la casa con alguien más, tiene que mandar a notarizar 2 cartas que se la entregó en la oficina principal, más 3 documentos adicionales, como son las colillas de pago, la licencia de conducción, cualquier recibo de la casa, los estados de cuenta, recibos del doctor o un documento del gobierno. Next. Please type your question in the chat if you have any question regarding the online families.
There's 2 of them on here. Do you want to just come around? And-
Yeah.
you can-
We're in Spanish, so.
Would you guide us to
Is that just on the-
find the registration packet?
They pretty much find FCP as a EU,
And what if they already are pre-K, they have to still enroll, they have to bring all the documentation.
Can we repeat the question and answers really quickly, and then I know we're wrapping up, so.
This is my phone number, 703-914-7203, and my email, lkhalif@fcpl.edu, if you have any other questions.
We will also post this presentation on our website as well as the registration contact information. So I know I like links, they're nice and easy to just click and go. So it will be up on our website so you can easily access it.
Yeah, and also have the registration packets here in Spanish and English if you need, plus other additional information that you may need.
What are these numbers for?
Just to pick up the student.
Everything in kindergarten always takes a little longer than we anticipate. So we are sorry this ran a little long, but we've enjoyed having you today. If you have any questions, we'll be around if you want to stick around and ask your individual questions, and you're welcome to pick up your children. Hopefully they had a great time in the kindergarten classroom today. We'll see you in the fall.
Oh, what are these numbers?
So when you pick up your child, they're labeled with the 14 and 15, so we make sure we're matching right Progress reports, great question. So for kindergarten, so we have 4 quarters in the school year, and in all other grade levels, they get progress reports quarterly. For kindergarten, we have required parent-teacher meetings, so children don't actually get progress reports. It's an opportunity for the parent and the teacher to meet and really talk about, where is your child, what are the great strengths, kind of where are we working? And then second quarter, which ends end of January, would be the first actual progress. So Ms. Best, she's in black, she's our school leader, so she's not a registered medical person, but she's like the first go-to. So if a child just is acting like they're not feeling well, and maybe they feel a little warm, the teacher will always excited wants us to watch the child to the clinic, they're always with an adult during school day in kindergarten. So someone would bring them to the clinic, which is located next to the office. She would check for, fever if it's feeling